I would like to know why women are on the same level as children on the 29 paragraph, and what's make you a man?
Children are less than women. It's actually it's a description of the levels and degrees of possible perception or possible reception, meaning it's the level of the degree of Tikun or degree of reformation of the will to receive. So it can be like a child completely not able to perceive, or being like what is called a woman, which is to do with the will to receive, knowing its nature, but still raw, meaning without reformation, without maybe consciousness. Yes, with the consciousness of the high, but consciousness of what can I get from it, and being that it's more to do with female and male. So being a male is an equivalent to being in a state of bestow. You're able to bestow. So usually when we speak about being a man, it's having enough of the nature of the higher, so you can actually execute or make or be in a state of bestowing. Okay, so it's not a description of looking at all people and saying they are like this and they are like this. It's speaking about in one person, and because one person is a whole world, there are different degrees of perception. It can be what we see as a man outwardly, corporal life, the physical form. He can be a man, but he can be or a child or a woman in terms of the nature. So it describes the nature of, or the state of reformation or non-reformation in a person. Okay, and it can be as well in humanity as a whole. There will be degrees, but it's nothing to do with a gender identity or age identity. Though this is one can say the debate of studying Kabbalah is whether it is suitable for children or not. It's definitely, as a direct teaching, not suitable for children. Now I'm speaking in physical age, but in last generation, if it is good for them to be in the vicinity of someone, a grown up, who is actually dealing and engaging in Kabbalah. So this is the way they can sort of get seeded with the right way, in the right way. So when you study Kabbalah, your man is a woman, and your child can be or a woman or a child. Yeah, because you are making the effort to become a man, or to become actually Adam. Yeah, which includes in it Eve. Yeah, so it's basically putting together the two natures of being able to receive, which we cannot cancel, with the intention to bestow, which we need to get as a nature which is not ours. This is the cooperation, this is the partnership between the creator and createe. Okay, so actually it speaks about, because we're speaking, or Bala Sulam is speaks here about the terms or the condition of engagement. Terms of engagement. The terms of engagement, as he is saying, is a kingdom of priests, meaning that they have in themselves a nature or a category of perceiving love thy friend as thyself. Not as already achieved, but as an attainable purpose. And it's very important to see that nothing that has been given to us as a precept or a means to ordain us is not, we would like to think about it as an ideal, which means not possible to execute or not possible to fulfill. Specifically when we speak about love thy friend as thyself. Because for the will to receive, it seems, and it is right, that it is not possible. Okay. So the term of engagement override whether you're prepared or not. You should be told not less than love thy friend as thyself. This is one can say this is a threshold condition. Yeah. At least the intention or the belief that if it has been ordained, if it was so ordained from the high, it is possible, but it is definitely possible because in this ordainment there is a promise of help if you actually want it. So no less than the condition and no less of help from the high. It's not just a restriction. On one hand, we can read it as when we think about threshold, we think about a line, but actually it's an area. It's an arena of different degrees. Yeah, and the different degrees actually is being determined by the depth of our need. So there is in it a limitation and actually endless possibilities altogether with no less than what is called Ein Sof. I mean, no limits. It means that no less than the very nature of the high, or the very nature of the creator, of bestower, which has no limits. From the need of our limitation, that this is the condition. Yeah. And then a holy nation is basically the reward. You should not add to the reward, because then you actually defiling the nature of the spirit. Because usually when people are presenting study of Kabbalah, they present it with bribe. Your relative will not die. You'll be successful in your family life. It will cause you to achieve your match. You will be prosperous. you'll be maybe happy. This is not a condition. So no more. No more than the actual nature of the spirit. And the actual nature of the spirit, that you cannot reward it with the reward of corporal life, because its reward, its proximity to the higher, its proximity to the light. So you cannot bribe it, actually, with, well, your corporal life would be, so you will not feel any suffering, or you will not feel any trial, because the mission of the spirit is actually to go through that, to learn that. So you can, when you're rewarding it, and you're saying you offer more than to sanctify your life for that, you're actually defiling the contract. Clear? Yeah. So this is basically what he is saying. So basically, when we finish to read the article Arvut, we should say, do we agree? Can we sign it? Then you sign on studying, or with the right intention, because this is the way I teach it. No less, no more. Very clear. Okay.